Hello, my name is Dennis Boyle, and I'll be going over my FBA interview. I had that opportunity to interview a special education teacher on my campus that is focused on autism. The student I'll be collecting data is a fifth grader male who is nonverbal. I asked the teacher a series of questions, and she responded with great detail, and I'm going to be going over each question and her responses. So question number 1 was, what behavior or behaviors are problematic, and what behavior is the most problematic to you or the individual on the spectrum? She shared that some of the behaviors that she's seen that are problematic are refusing to do work, ignoring requests, and showing self-injurious behaviors like headbanging or attempting to bite or hit other students or staff. The most problematic behavior is the physical aggression towards himself or others. Question number 2, describe the problem behaviors in detail. So she mentioned that the student, when asked to do an unpreferred task or is upset, he gets up and runs at the wall and begins to hit his head. As the staff attempts to shield him from hurting himself, he then goes after the closest student or staff towards him and attempts to bite them. Question number 3. When and where does the behavior most often occur? She mentioned that the behavior occurs inside the classroom, mostly during a task that requires him to write. Or she mentioned that if it's a math task that is new or he's confused about, the behavior will occur as well. Question number 4. What happens when the individual engages in the behavior? So when the student engages in the behavior, he is unresponsive to staff's directions. Staff utilizes simple direction and visuals to help him de-escalate. The student does get very frustrated and may scream, cry, hit, or bite. So question number 5, why is the behavior a problem for you and or the individual? She responded that aggressive behaviors are a huge safety concern and liability for both the students and everyone else in the classroom. The behaviors are very disruptive and has led to having to restrain the student for their safety and the safety of others. After looking at the data in the interview, I would operationally define the behavior as physical aggression, both in the areas of biting and self-injurious behavior. Biting is defined as any occurrence of opening and closing of the jaw, with upper and lower teeth making contact with any part of a person's body. And a self-injurious behavior is defined as the occurrence of behavior that results in physical injury to one's own body. So based on the initial interview with the teacher, I learned that the behavior is quite frequent during writing and may result from a lack of understanding or not knowing what to do, as he tends to get frustrated, and that's why the behavior escalates. It's going to be interesting in the next week when I go observe the student and conduct a functional behavior assessment to learn more about the student and the reasoning behind his behaviors.